You're now listening to Mushroom Man FM, where we play nothing but Invoked, Dogmatica, and Shadows. This ain't your Yugi Boomers station.
You can be racist in a different shade. It just has. It's just a different level.
You
of
get away with it more. That's the thing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like,
It's just, and it's that little bit darker.
like the difference between a white guy saying the N word and a Chinese guy with a bit of a tan going on saying the N word is like, oh, let's see how he says it again, then we can take it from there.
I love dating a Vanta black girl.
If he says it harder,
She draws like him.
Anna has this bag from Blackpink that says Born Pink, and I was like, why didn't it do the first one? It would have worked with you.
True. Do you know what my pet name for her is? Event Horizon.
Nice pet name. Oh, you're so cute today. Event Horizon. My little eclipse.
Don't look at it too long. You'll go
strong
blind.
wheeze from you right now.
My little
eclipse.
Because I just realized I was kind of like my little.
Yeah, I've been dancing around that a little bit. That's fucked.
No, you're just gonna look at my.
If you're recording now, I walk out of this room.
Man, I've been recording for 30 minutes.
Brother, delete it right now.
my little collapse of neutron star.
I just imagine you're like, it's super romantic, you're like in the forest. My little, well, I can't say that. And she's like, no, go ahead and say it. I don't want to.
My respect women juice overpowers everything. I'm sorry.
I'm just not gonna feel right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Branded Boys.
This is the most unhinged intro we've ever had in our lives.
I've had a couple of bad ones. Brock isn't here.
He's a coward.
Yeah, I wanted. This was gonna be the 3v3 episode. Wow, there's a lot of echo in here. This was gonna be the 3v3 episode, and Brock was like, "No, I'm gonna do literally anything else." So
Bro's chasing his dreams of being a competitive Overwatch player. He's currently on the hunt for his first win.
I just moved out from Brock's place. I would every time I would walk in on him playing Overwatch, rather, I'd be like, I just wish you were like watching porn or something, because like that would have been way easier to explain to myself. But,
and the authorities.
But yeah, and the authorities that are now gonna have to show up after I've murdered you. And it's not even that, he just didn't play a good character. Like he would just play the shit boring and porn characters. Where's the Winston? Where's that hamster? You know, the hamster and the ball that gets squished with like.
Yeah, do you know what that character's name is?
Yeah.
What's that character's name?
You know what?
In
that's
the game.
In the okay, well hang on. Do you want in the game or do you want the voice actor?
I want the character's name in the game.
Yeah, that's no problem. So originally, his name was Hamster, but now it's Hamster Jr. because of law reasons.
That's true. In canon, his father died. His son replaced him.
Got squished.
It was a really emotional moment. No,
by a heel.
His name in the game is Wrecking Ball.
Oh yeah.
Which is so uncreative.
Listen.
That's not his real name.
Well, I know his actual name.
His real name's Hammond.
Yeah, as a Top Gear reference.
God, I want to find When you first came out, the whole bombs, and you're like, why?
Can you imagine Top Gear, but they just replace all the characters with hamsters?
Tonight on Top Gear, Hamster 1 gets fucking executed by the Syrian police. Hamster 2 gets crushed to death by a stallion horse. And Hamster 3 makes some lunch.
I was just gonna say, like, they're rolling around in, like, the plastic balls. And one of them's going way too fast.
It's the Richard Hammond crash, but with the hamster ball.
Exactly. Thank you for the sound effect.
He's fucking dead.
The stick shows up. It's just a hamster in a full-size helmet, so you can't see the hamster because it's in the helmet.
It's still the outline of the dude, but you can just tell that there's a hamster.
There's a hamster hanging on for dear life. He's suspended off the ground.
He's just ratatouille.
Yeah, he's ratatouille. To be fair, I would fully believe that.
The Stig's Italian cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna recap the 3v3. So we decided that I think the Branded Boys, all three of us, would be too strong. So listen, like, it's not fun when you're winning all the time, right?
That's true.
So Burnsy decided to take one for the team, and lose really hard.
I only used 5% of my power, to be fair.
You probably should have used a bit more.
Probably should have. It was, excuse me, our team name was a self-fulfilling prophecy, to be fair.
Yeah, so it was you, Cheeseman over here. Hello, can you introduce yourself?
Hola, I am the cheese.
Oh, we've got 2 large kilograms of wheeled cheddar right here, and they seem to be speaking, and we've deciphered that speaking into Morse code, and then put that into an AI. So that's what you're hearing.
Ah.
Yeah, it's not.
You can always
most
tell if you
perfect.
check how many fingers he has.
Yeah.
Father, what am I?
Father, I have become Brie.
I'm the Wolverine.
So you, Anna, and Cheeseman decided to be a team. What was the process going to a 3v3? Because did either of you have ever gone to a 3v3 before?
So I have. I believe this was your first, though.
Very much my first go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how was your experience with it compared to regular YuGiOh?
Oh, it was obscure for my first time actually playing in an event like that, but for the most part it was good. I got my ass beat most of the time.
Yeah. Look, the team did not quite go to glory, I will admit.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's an interesting time being able to like collaborate with your team members and strategize. It's like actively encouraged to do so. It's just very, very interesting. And we went for an interesting angle. I don't think many people were really taking it seriously. I was on a funny version of Branded Chimera, which, despite the results, actually did perform pretty well. It was using the Apprentice Magician and Nightmare Apprentice, I should say, and also the Diabelle's new monster, which was really, really funny to resolve against Snake Eye players who were setting Wanted constantly. So that was good. And you, sir, I believe you played Tempire.
It was my second time actually playing it, and I think what killed me more was the locals that was on the Thursday. I went undefeated, I beat everyone, did not lose, and then it's 3v3. What is winning?
Yeah. You got it all out of your system.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's worth noting that like Anna was on our team and she was on table 1 and she was doing so well.
Yeah,
like,
you mean A or table 1?
she was on table A, apologies.
Yeah.
So
Slot A rather.
So legitimately 10-15 minutes into the first 3 rounds she was winning, and then we would turn and be like, yeah, so we're both lost.
Oh.
So you're playing for pride.
I'm sorry, Mum, I'll get the kettle cord. Beat me off.
Yeah, well the thing is, she's so like humble normally, and she's so polite to everyone. She was like vocally shit talking us the entire day. She was like,
You, her teammates?
genuinely, she was like,
Based.
I'm doing it perfectly. It's everyone else.
Base, and it's true, honestly.
It's honestly true. I could not agree with her more.
I got hardcore shit talk because it was like, you're playing one of the best decks. You're designed just to kill. How are you not killing? I'm sorry.
I'm trying. Help me.
It's my second time playing this deck since release.
Yeah.
Could you remind me of your team name?
We're all big fans of the particular anime for Yu-Gi-Oh! With synchros. 5Ds, very cool. So we called ourselves Team 5 Defeats.
Mm-hmm. How many defeats did you get?
Out of 5 rounds, 4.
Well, okay, that's fine. What was your one win?
What was it? I remember.
It was me and
It was borderline a buy.
Look,
Like, if I'm honest, it was like the person I versed was like summon great, normal summon like
yeah.
Gazelle. Don't even use effect, and it's like, I'm sorry, you die.
So me and Brock and our mutual friend James, who we're really close with, I managed to convince Brock to come along, and he's like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to play with you. And I'm like, I just because I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh all the time in paper doesn't mean I don't play it online when you were at locals. I just go to bed way earlier than you get back home. And he's like, oh, fine. Who's our third? I'm like, I don't know. I like James. Actually, we got into a call with 9 of us as
We
a
did.
pool, and we were like, oh, this would be cool if we like split each of the Branded Boys into team captains. And then about 4 people called in sick. So like, I just took Brock for myself, and we were like, okay, cool.
Well, to be fair, like I was grafting super hard. This is the first time where I've tried to event organize generally. I have so much more respect for you now, having to do this all the time with like us idiots. Like me in that call, like being really excited, gassing everyone up, being like, "Hey guys, let's draft 3v3 teams and invade Brisbane." Like, how cool is that going to be? And we were in there. we were having fun. Everyone was like genuinely doing it. And then 2 days later, Brock was like, wait, what were we doing? And he picked a team of 3 and didn't realize what we were doing.
Yeah, so at the end of the group chat, there was 11 of us in there. And what ended up happening was 6 of us went to play. So we get into a thing. Because we wanted to do, the original plan would have been nice to have the Brandon boys, but Anna wanted to play. And it's kind of unfair for Anna to be so new to the game, to her to just find 2 people. Like, she had 2 people. She's in the friend group, but because she's so new to the community, it's probably way safer just to, especially because it's her first 3v3 and maybe her like 3rd in-person event.
Pretty much, yeah.
That is probably better for her just to be kind of encapsulated by you and at least one other person that she knows.
It's true, and it's worth noting this event, if nothing else, did give her a taste for blood. So
Wow.
she's now out here like actively wanting to rip people apart, which is fantastic. Not even in a YuGiOh sense.
Yeah, I went, I tried to, Anna works at a particular bank and I tried to deposit some money and I saw her and I went, oh, hey. And then she was behind the counter. So she went out from the counter, went up to me. I thought she was going to high-five me, but she grabbed me by the throat and said something to blood for the blood god, skull for the skull throne.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that was about, but I did end up being in the ER for 2 years.
I do remember that, her jaw like unhinged.
Yeah, like
a snake.
Yeah, like a deity from the 7th dimension. But like, I mean, that's just like what quirky white girls do.
That's
so,
true.
Honestly, what are you gonna do, right? Yeah, so it was me, Brock, and James Dyer. Well, I think I just doxed him. I'm gonna make sure that I can actually say his name. We settle on pretty quickly that we just want to play a decks that we know and that can just do well off. Because at the end of the day, I think we all decided that we were kind of all the same kind of power level. Brock did say he wanted to be in the middle. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. You're in the game and you're a good competitive player. Dyer's hard set on Labyrinth because he wants to play a deck that goes slow and that he just brought. And I wanted to play Branded because by far and large, I've already tested the deck and it's not like I wasn't doing anything particularly too great before the ban list happened. So I was like, I'll just play what I played for YCS Sydney, take out a thrust and put in an extra bell and we'll call it a day. Just because I was borrowing thrust from the burns over here.
Yes.
So we get in there and we sit down and round 1 it's against a team called Cyber Heroes. And we go, oh, cool, all right. We unpack our stuff, we begin to play. I go first, I win the Darrow. It's like, I go get a 12, he gets a 2, and I'm like, oof. All right, let's see if Karma's on my side. Draw the hand, full board, go. He goes, all right, I got this. Normal summon Leotron. And I go,
Oh no.
huh. And then I look over to my side and I see Brock manhandling a hero player, cussing him out for like reading Dark Law incorrectly, and him being super like angry towards this person that just very clearly had just picked up the deck. So I look over to Dyer and he's versing a Salamangreat board, which is Gazelle in defense position, and he's like, set 5, and I'm like, ooh, okay, this is a bad move for them. So I'm just
not a good look.
So I'm just playing. I have to tell Brock like twice, like, calm down, dude. We're going to win. You don't need to be so angry because he keeps misreading what Malicious Bane does to a Colossus because it could protect. And it's like, well, you can't do it. And it's like, I had to turn to him and be like, Brock, I'm versing a guy that's playing Swords of Revealing Light. You don't need to worry. And then I turn to my deck, go to find ways to out and go, oh, I don't have Brandon and Red on my main deck. So we're going to surrender and go next.
Yeah. Have any of you guys seen Finding Nemo, out of curiosity?
I have.
You know the scene when Bruce smells the blood in the water?
Yes.
That was Brock whenever he senses weakness.
What I genuinely like about Bob is like, if it's random people, he's just like, I will eviscerate your bloodline
It's true.
from the world. But if it's us guys, he's like, oh hey guys.
I'm like, it's so weird. This is I had to do this twice, and one more in YCS Sydney 24. All right, halfway through a match, the guy was getting so red in the face and like, squirming in his seat. I was like, dude, calm down, man. It's a card game.
We essentially paid like $25 for 2 packs anyway.
Yeah, like
So, yeah.
there was this match where this guy, so I had illegally activated Cosmic Cyclone twice because who's playing Paleo, and so they can chain on their turn. And I was like, well, I don't know which one I want to do. Let me go Cosmic. He's like, you can't just set it. I'm like, okay, Cosmic. I just told you. I'm like, oh yeah, you could. So he hits me again. Time gets called.
And then he starts playing his cards.
Time gets called. And then I'm like, oh, that's rough, man. And then he goes, no. And then calls the judge over. Proceeds to whinge the judge's ear off. The judge looks at me and goes, how many times did you illegally activate Cosmic Cyclone one turn? I go, 2. And I did it. And he goes, cool. So I'm going to give you a minor penalty for accidental cheating. And I'm going to give you, other player, a minor. And if you continue to talk my ear off, a major for personally annoying me and trying to disrupt the game state. And
Yeah.
I'm like...
For someone who's a people pleaser and doesn't really get in trouble with the judges very often, can you briefly explain the whole thing of minors and majors? I know you did it to me at the 3v3, but I will admit I've actually forgotten.
So I think we go to game 1. I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting Paleo, so I'm gonna have to side really heavily. Game 2, I just evenly him out the game. Game 3, it goes into this large back and forth where, because the Paleos can chain on your turn to summon themselves, but only if it's in direct response to a trap card. So if you interrupt them, you can prevent any summons. I didn't have any bodies on board, and his entire team, him and one of his teammates kept verbally saying to hurry up. Meanwhile, there was no, like, I wasn't slow playing. I said, if you want to call a judge, you can call a judge at any point as the match starts to it ends. I'm fine with that, but I'm playing at equal pace. And then that's all fine. They keep saying it, and then I go, like, if you keep wanting me to hurry up, I will call a judge. And they're like, okay, just keep going. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, Brock is talking my ear off, trying to be like, you can activate the fusion cards in graveyard. And I'm like, Brock, I can't. I played 2 Fallen of Albaz, and they're both banished face down. I can't activate these cards. And it's hard trying to talk to 3 people at once while playing a game. And eventually, I'm just like, the judge get called, blah, blah. And he's like, time goes, and he goes, okay, can I attack? And I have to go, dude, we've got 3 minutes, play like normal. And he plays like normal, and he beats me to death with like 1.5 minutes remaining. And I'm like, okay, cool, good job. And he gets up and begins to whinge. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Stop being a baby.
What a sad state.
And then Brock is like, you could have activated it. And I'm like, Brock, read the card. And he reads the card and he goes, oh. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm sorry, I love him. And I'm never playing a 3v3 with you.
Understood.
I'm like, Brock, you need to read the card. But that was fun. I enjoyed it. I got 2 packs and I got nothing from it like everyone else did.
I think a big part of the team construction, I was saying this on the day as well, you need the cream between the Oreos. That's legitimately how you construct your team. You got players who, work generally well with each other, and then you put the cream in the middle, and you're like, get along with everybody. That's your job. Just be fun.
Okay, I did play slot A by accident. We meant to do it so I will play slot C just so James could kind of whittle down A enough time for me and Brock to kill the person. But I put myself as A, and I don't think that would have changed anything. If anything, I kind of ran into the very obviously good player, got Brock to win most games if I lost them, and then most of the time it was going down to James actually playing Labyrinth. It was this really clutch moment actually where I had won, Brock had lost because he bricked, and it was a Labyrinth mirror match. And so for 30 minutes, we were just standing there looking at every trap card so intensely. They were like, oh fuck, oh my god, this is crazy. 1 compulse and he loses the game. But he put it out, and that was really cool. And then we went on to lose the next round in spectacular fashion. But what are you gonna do?
I love it when it becomes a game of chess. It's always very interesting.
We're just crowning right. I'm like, I see. He has 31 trap cards instead of 30. What an interesting build. I wonder what this can do for the economic growth of Syria.
Nothing.
Literally
nothing.
But that was fun. Did you guys get any fun stories from it, or?
I mean, yeah, we had a few.
I think probably our best one was like mine and Burnsy's round 1. It was like, oh, what'd you play against Snake Eye? What'd you play against Snake Eye?
Yeah.
Next round it was like, oh, I played against like Live Twin Sprite, which I should have won, but it was my second time playing Tenpai because it was straight after Legacy Destruction. And then I was like, Bernsey, what did you verse? Snake Eye.
Snake
oh
Eye.
my god, are you okay, man? He's like, but if I verse one more Snake Eye, I'm gonna flip. Next round, it was like, so Bernsey, what did you verse? Snake Eye.
Yeah, legitimately.
And I'm like, are you doing okay? And he's like, I don't want to verse Snake Eye anymore. he's like, Flame Burst is dumb. Just, I have my Chimera stuff. Flame Burst, push it. I hate you.
Yeah, it's just stuck there. It's not moving.
I got so psyched out. I had a board and I was like, it's fine, I can play the Snake Guy. And I'm Burskin's a pretty competent player. And he does the Snake Eye stuff. I'm like, yeah, I've destroyed it. I've banished the Ash at the optimal moment. He has no more Popples anymore. He doesn't have access to Oak because I just got rid of it with the Cosmic Cyclone. He has 3 cards in hand. Look what he does. Then he activates the Fire King stuff and I go, oh shit, yeah, that's why I had Cosmic in the main. Whoops.
Right, the whole other engine. Yeah.
And he beat me to death with a bunch of guys with no effect. And I went, fuck, damn it.
Well, like even because of the ban list now, so many more people are actually leaning on the, obviously with Link Karibo. Rest in peace, my brother.
Rest in
But-
peace, my little
Pour
guy.
one out for Link
But,
Karibo.
yeah, a lot of people are actually leaning towards more the Fire King variant to help counteract, obviously,
Yeah.
popular. If it doesn't go through, it's like, oh,
For sure.
I'll just lean on the Snake Eyes stuff.
We got a bunch of flack for saying that Branded would be good in the ban list episode. People were just like, brother in Christ, we just replaced it with Omega and think
Yeah,
nothing changed. And I'm like, but
it's true. It's true.
huh.
I love when it does exactly what it did before. It's
Yeah.
just more annoying.
Have you been experimenting with the new ban list, or rather, have you been playing cards that have just kind of come out and are playable now because of the ban list?
Yeah, look, I've been doing quite a bit of innovating the last few weeks. So absolutely been doing some test hands with Snake Eye, which has been really nice. We've got to give a plug to Brock, who has been summoning Protoss like it's his job.
My God.
Like man's still on Manadium, making Flame Banshee, searching a Nemesis flag, which I own. And if Brock, if you're listening to this, I want it back, just so you can't use it against me.
Brock, if you're listening to this, I know you took my Jewel Swarms and thought they were yours.
No. Like, because Brock's really been cooking, and he's been doing really, really well on that deck. Like, obnoxiously so.
I want to hurt this.
Yeah,
man.
Mr. Cheeseman, how many times has he declared fire on you?
It's weird how many times
time.
I heard people go, okay, play Manadium, and then get their shit stomped at the 3v3.
Yeah, because they underestimate it. It's still just as good. It's
Yeah, I look over and it's like a bunch of big ass guys and also Appa, and I'm like,
a never-ending engine with several one-card combos.
yeah.
Especially because like I lent Brock my Rev Synchrons, and he's like, I can do funny. I make Ancient Fairy. I get myself my field spell that I actually need. Then I make Crystal Wing. You can't Nibiru me, cow.
Yeah, so it's fine.
I can't believe round 1, game 1, I go, oh, Soldier of Feeling Light, okay, let me just out this and quickly clean up the game. Anyway, I'm going to use Albion to search for, okay, so I have no Spell Trap Pop if I don't have Branded Red, and I can't find it. And if I look to my side deck, up there it is, and so I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just waiting for Swords to pass.
But yeah, just to answer your question from before, my pet deck that I've been playing right now is actually the new YuGiOh cards. I've been saying to everyone who will listen, no matter how much they beg me to stop talking, genuinely I've not been excited like this to play a deck since Outburst Strike came out. It feels very much like my playstyle. It's very flexible, it does a lot of things. Very much as everyone is who plays the deck, excited for the new fusion to come out. But even as it is, just generally, it has so many win conditions, and it has one-card combos, which as a branded player, other than branded fusion, you don't really get much of that. So it's nice. I don't know. And I've been doing quite well with it, like as I've learned how to play the deck. So no, I highly, highly enjoy that deck.
Yeah, I think a couple of other people at our local scene was doing that. I think our friend Dion was also on that last night.
So Dion was on a funny Unchained Brew.
The Unchained version.
Yeah, but he wasn't on the YuBell cards. He was playing the same idea of Fiend Link, but he just wasn't on the. He was on a higher Unchained count.
Yeah, I do gotta say, I mean, I versed both of you with only one match, but as much as I think Super Play is broken, I don't find the YuBell version to be very threatening, at least from what I've seen from the various faceless online people and you, versus the generic kind of feeling stuff that has been going on in the OCG with just Yama and friends, and also Beckoning Beast, which is
Yeah, no, that's true. We should absolutely ask an expert. Mr. Cheeseman, you played against it round 1 last night. How did you find it?
I hate you.
We'll ignore that I was the one playing it.
I hate you.
To be fair, that was a very cool anime duel. Like we did really well.
There was a lot of hardcore back and forth, but like round 1, Burnsy cleaned me.
Wow.
'Cause I had nothing.
it's
And
fucked up.
Game 2, it was
It
like
happens.
Game 2, it was like, oh, I have spirit. We're good. He can't kill it. And I made
You did cook me there,
I
yeah.
made my big transcendent dragon in the battle phase, and I was like, wait a minute. If I just make my $180 big dragon, pop my transcendent, bring my transcendent back, because 3 or more monsters of battle, pop his spirit, and transcendent says, you cannot activate card effects in the battle phase.
Yeah. It's worth noting you made the big boy in main phase because I impermed it. So you popped it and then brought it back in the battle phase. So I was not winning that game regardless.
And then round 2, he cooked me. I opened up like droplet, triple imperm,
Ooh.
and it was like no starter. I don't even remember what my last card was, but it
No.
done nothing.
I remember the moment when we were sitting there with like 8 minutes to go, and I was like, I could just make conversation with you for 8 minutes and then make Gustav.
Me, when I look at my extra deck, can find a card that's $200. Ah, yes, capitalism.
Nah, to be fair, like highly respect that game, and I think it's actually a weirdly interactive matchup, Tenpai versus YuGiOh, because like neither one actively kills the other, because both of them have things they can do.
Very much correct. Like, I think like for Tenpai more than anything, like versing YuGiOh is our hardest matchup. It's like, especially when you have, I think it's the trap that forces me to attack, and
Yeah.
I've got a 6k trident dragon that can attack 3 times, and I'm like, why? Why did I pay so much for this card just to kill myself?
Yes. It's true.
Me, when I buy an expensive rope. God,
Yeah.
this costs a lot.
And it's not the best material, it's really scratchy.
No, I work with our friend, our mutual friend Dion, and he's been thinking about picking up that deck. So whilst on company time, sorry employer, please do not listen to this, we were talking about what the YuGiOh cards do because he wants to pick up the deck. And in particular, he drew mention on the YuGiOh Fusion monster, wondering, like, surely, like, you know, you make this more, like, what does it do? And then I read off the effects, and it's like, can't be destroyed by battle, you take no damage, sure. Also can't be destroyed by card effects. Also it has generic materials for a super poly. Also for every material that you use with it, you take 500 damage. Also in the damage step, if it battles, the monster is banished and you take the damage equal to its attack, which stacks with Nightmare Pain, so you take double damage. Yeah, look, the team's chat was fire that day, like, not gonna lie.
If I was Baldrick, I'd say I'd win. I'm just saying, you know, I think Bestial Baldrick.
Did you just make a Jujutsu Kaisen reference?
No.
You're such a hypocrite. You've talked so much smack against that show.
I'd win. We're gonna put it up on screen. I'd win. With Bestial Baldrick's fucking stupid worm face. Just stupid Falcon little beak. Yeah, let's give the locals report actually. So, from Cheeseman's side, that you versus Burnsy was the first one. What was the rest of your games like?
The rest of the games was pretty good. I proceeded to go undefeated until I got to the last round, which coincidentally at States I also versed Brock, who I wanted to end, but he just Protoss locked me twice. Like, I sat there and he's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, you're not sorry.
No, you're not.
I know what you're doing. Protoss locked me and I'm like, I will set 2, I will pass. And then I super polyed his ass.
Got him.
Die.
All's fair in love and Yu-Gi-Oh locks, I guess.
Yeah.
All is fair in Super Poly that looks like it was made out of sperm. Sorry, Poly that looks like it was made out of sperm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think it was round 2. The fear on a man's face when I have the field spell that just makes my things unaffected, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm like summon Padar, like Hydra effect, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll impermanent. And I was like, brother, read the field
What
spell.
did you just do?
Read the field spell, please. And he's like, oh no. And I was like, you die now.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Have a beautiful time. And then coincidentally he had another imperm set in the battle phase, and it's like, attack with Chandra. Chandra summon the card, and he's like,
No.
I'll imperm it. And it's like, I'll chain and synchro summon.
Okay.
And he's like, oh no. And I'm like, yes, they dodged the imperm.
Oh no! Oh yeah!
Just insert Steve Carell saying "don't" under his breath. Don't.
Don't imper me.
Father, please.
Father, no!
Perfectly cut imperm.
I was playing my favorite deck, I think, of all time at the moment. It's a concoction I brewed when I realized that I could spell swear words with my deck list. So it's Bestial Invoked Thunder Chaos Horus.
Which spells Joe Biden.
Which I want so when I went there, ice cream.
We choose truth over facts.
Oh.
Actual Joe Biden quote, by the way.
Yeah, so it's called Bitch. And basically what it does is you draw a card and go, oh, yeah, this is a hand.
Yeah.
It's not like anything really coincides with it. Like, you get it's just a bunch of engines that work together in a wheel. So if you start with the B, it works with the I, and if you get the I, it works with the T. But if you get like two horse monsters that aren't Mcedi and like Thunder Dragonhawk, you're just kind of sitting with your dick up your ass. So you're just like, okay, I guess I'll pass. But like when it works, it's basically just like, it's like, you know, you draw a hand and you go, okay, how much of the engine have I made? I got the Thunder, I got the Invoke, cool. Mechaba Colossus.
I was actually thinking, as terrible as this does sound, you should genuinely consider playing a one-off card destruction. Can you imagine set up
Every day, brother, I think of playing that in any deck.
Like, how many times have I come to you when you're like talking about cracked hands and I like take one look, like bad hand loses to card destruction?
I would like to interject. I think it was like round 3. I was sitting next to our Lord and Savior Ronan, and I was like, "Hey Ronan, how'd the game go?" And you're like, "I lost." and I was like, "You just versed Labyrinth, man. I lost."
Yeah, they ran me out of resources because unfortunately, when you draw Horus monsters, you need King Sark. And I'm just sitting there with a Dwarmatef looking back at me like, hello. And I'm like, you could be like a Blue Eyes and would be better than this.
Stupid little guy. Just
fucking look at me like fucking bitch.
If it's a Blue Eyes, it's trading target. Maybe you draw the King Sark.
Maybe I just play more trade-ins. I'm playing a lot of 8s.
It's true.
So so round 1, I'm versing. Oh no, why do I have to forget it now? It doesn't matter. Round 2 Labyrinth, I unfortunately break and I go, yeah, this was the risk of playing 40 cards and trying to just get the best of both worlds. Round 3, I managed to verse Drytron. And I'm like, oh, this is fine. I have Bestials. I have 4 Bestials in my 40 card deck. What I need to do is draw them. So I, instead of siding in going hand traps, I sided in going second cards, which is just the incorrect thing to do because I thought he would be summoning Amaphage. I want to say it's the turn skip Amaphage ritual. But yeah, Amifactor Pain. But you can't really tell what he's making between Amifactor Pain and Herald of Ultimatus. So I just chose, I was like, oh, what I know from Drytron, even if he is playing the voiceless engine on the side, is that Herald of Ultimatus is really good. So what I'll do is I'll play 3 copies of Evenly and 3 Kaijus. And then I ran into Amifactor Goliath, didn't draw any Bishops. I'm like, oh, this is unfortunate. But I did put up quite a good game. It obviously isn't just a push around when you get the cards going. You're just going into such a way big combo board in exchange for every 5th game. You're going to look at Dwarmatef in your hand and be like, oh, this is stupid. What am I doing? Round 4, I'm versing Dion. And he's playing Fiend Link. So round 1, he wins the die roll and he makes stuff, and I just go, I don't want to know what's wrong, so I don't want you to know what I'm on rather. So let's just scoop it. He goes, all right. Then I go first, and my end board is SP, Colossus, Mechaba, number 90 is a monster negate, Kaliga, and then what was it? IP. With 4 cards in hand. One of them is a Bestial. And he looks at his hand, looks at that board with the regained in the middle and goes, nah, let's go next. I'm like, you probably should have just said that from the beginning, but okay.
That's horrific.
Just sometimes you just draw all 5 engines and you just get this gleam on your face as you go, cool, full board, and now it will activate Thunder Dragon Hawk effect. And he goes, what does that do? And I go, Magical Mallet. And I put my entire hand back and draw another hand and go, let's do it again.
That is bloody villainous.
One more time, baby.
Brother, when it works, it works. What can we say?
Someone unicorned my Colossus. I was like, I did it. And then turned back to me and I go, okay, Link went into Colossus. And they go, what the fuck? And I'm like, my brother in Christ, the entire point of this deck is to just keep making him.
Oh no.
What have you done? You're supposed to banish him, you fool. He's the one Thunder Dragon that doesn't get an effect when he's banished.
I evolved beyond human comprehension.
I am now a dragon. My list is really cursed, but it it's that's what I like about YuGiOh, is that it can be fun, which I can't say too much about other card games.
This is true. I'm not a fan of poker.
I
There's
don't
not enough dragons.
I don't like exploding kittens because they fucking kill cats, which I thought was a weird business model, but like I guess I can get behind it. Like it's like fine if you're not that much into mutiny. Weird. Do you want to hear a Reddit story?
Would you like to hear about my locals instead of skipping over me, sir?
You weren't there.
I went 3-1, brother.
Do you remember him being there?
He literally, he would rather not think about it.
Oh yeah, I guess. Go ahead.
We don't have to. That's okay. You can also read
I
the
don't like
Reddit.
you, Bell.
That's a you problem, brother.
Okay, go. How many times did you resolve Super Poly?
I don't feel like sharing now. Do you want to read your Reddit
Oh,
story?
can we say, just before we get into your recap, can we say how many times me and Anna Super Poly this one guy between us? And he got so upset.
Actually broke his brain. I think bro is like begging for coins on the side of the street now.
Dude's playing pretty close to Miles just with the Dark Magician package, as if that changes anything about the deck. Dragoon, whoa, Kaiju. Anyway, he just goes, yes, Mechaba, Dragoon, Kaliga, Colossus, go. It'll suck if you drew Super Poly. And I go, my brother in Christ, I play 9 of them. The entire, branded is Super Poly the deck. What did you think? Anyway, Super Poly. and he's just like, dude, that's the 6th time. And I look over to Anna and Anna's like, yeah.
She's got a tiny smile waving over at you.
Hi.
Super Poly is the best card. Like in Tempai, I was playing the Link package, and I was like, "This is arse." Put in Super Poly, and I was like, "Now."
You did kind of murder me with it a few times.
Now we cook.
Why is that card legal? Why? It was on the ban list. Why did anyone take it off?
I,
Thought it would be funny.
Oh.
no, I think the funny thing is they've taken it off, and it's just like, yeah, I suppose I'll hang around.
It's like that one guy at a party, me, that like is kind of friends with the people, but like isn't close enough to be at the after party. So they're just kind of hanging around, kind of just stretching out the party just enough so they can go home.
Yeah, the definition of under the radar.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this. That's fine. Yeah. No, I wanted to share my locals experience because some genuinely funny moments happened that I think will be very good fodder for the podcast. So we've already talked about round 1. I'm not going to go too hard. Genuinely, shake my hand on stream.
Thank you,
genuinely a very respectable, very back and forth
For the
game.
viewers at home, they are now shaking hands.
We are now kissing.
Oh my god, they're making out of my sofa. Oh, you Super Poly me so hard.
So just now I was just on my phone going through the Discord and the Facebook because I was trying to remember who I played. And I couldn't understand why I forgot what was my round 2 was. And I remember now because I was against a Gold Pride Punk player who didn't know what the Bell cards did.
Oh no.
So he put himself on 3k life to set up a Gold Pride board. And I was like, okay, summon Bell, activate Nightmare Pain, enter battle. Twice. that's all you had to do. Just legitimately.
Bye.
But the problem is, it's really funny because I did it one time and he was like, oh, that's really funny. He decides to go first again. He does it again. And I look at him like, I'm gonna do this again.
My brother in Christ. Have you heard about Darwinism?
Yeah, exactly. I think, honestly, the locals was better for it, that's fine. But no, I genuinely love the guy that was on Gold Pride Punk. It's always fun to play him. He's such a cool bro. It was just a really big mismatch in that regard, just because he did not really know what the cards did, and like the intricacies of them and everything, and B, he is actively paying life points. He made a psychic end Punisher. He made a psychic end Punisher turn 1.
How would you out
with
it?
like 9k attack, and I'm like, brother,
Brother.
you gotta make this harder for me, please.
This YuGiOh about to go sicko mode.
Yo,
Literally though.
you staring down a psychic game Punisher? Yo, trans rights about to go real hard on this one. Womp.
Yeah. In game 3, I was against Ali, who we have talked about on prior episodes, and he was on Voiceless, which is probably the strongest deck he does play. He does not like YuGiOh either. He despises that deck. And every time I play him, I always resolve Super Poly in some obnoxious way, and that trend was resolved today. Clearing his Skull Guardian with Super Poly so that when he tried to give me the Jowgen with Sanctifier, while laughing at me, the branded guy who locks people, being like, ha ha ha, you're about to know how this feels. So I simply removed his Omni Negate, and then when it was gone, changed Cold Bite.
Cool.
But
Get
no-
out of here.
Yeah, but no, the highlight of that round absolutely was him making his good board, him letting me play just a little bit because he was saving the negate for good things, and then he had he made Skull Guardian with 4100 attack. So he enters battle phase, and in the start of battle phase, I use Eternal Favorite to bring back regular YuGiOh. And he's like, oh, I have to attack that, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's only got that and low. So he's like, okay, I'll just attack it. And I was like, cool, you lose. And he's like, what? And I was like, YuBell burns, Nightmare Pain gives you the battle damage. You just took 8200.
Congratulations. You've set yourself on fire.
Pretty much, bro. Like, have you seen, like the Elmer Fudd thing of him putting the gun down the hole and then it curls up behind him and he just shot himself in the head? Yeah, and then round 4 I lost to Lab, and I was, very similar to you. I got outgrinded, and it was not a terrible game, but I don't think I was ever winning that one. So.
There was a point where I had an Ash and a Bell, and I used Ash, and I was like, oh, I should have just Belled that, because I could use Ash like both of the good traps. And then I was like, oh, well, in reality, that only brought me a turn, and because I've already been outgrinded, if I don't get my full combo on, the only piece of my engine that has any grind capacity is Alistair, and I can't see him anywhere. So,
Bro's being aloof.
he's just being a little guy. He must be down somewhere at the Citadel. I don't know where all this power's coming from, but I haven't seen him also anywhere. What's happening? I hope he's okay.
Sending thoughts and prayers to Alistair.
Thoughts and prayers to... I just realized what I was playing against, not to cut you off, but I was versing Snake Eye, which is like the deck that, is like, okay, to make a deck, you kind of have to play the best deck of the format to make sure it's good enough, even at like a casual local setting. Every piece of this engine can extend, but also has another piece of itself. So for the invoke section, it grinds, and for the Bishiels, it takes places of good hand traps. For Thunders, it takes place of good material. For Chaos, it gives you attributes in the graveyard and draw power. And for the Horus engine, it gives you follow up. But the good thing about Snake Eye is that it's really funny when they panic as you've made Purgatrio, taking out their one pop in the process, and realize that Purgatrio does piercing and can attack everything. So I was versing Anna one time, and she's practicing her Snake Eye, and it's on this table that we're recording right now, and she's doing the combo really well. I'm like, that's a Tondel too. Oh, it's really bad. Okay, and then I draw into Alistair, and I go, Alistair, cool, invocation, and then she's like, okay. And I'm like, cool, I'm going to Fusion Summon. Take your pop. Swing. She's like, okay. Swing. Okay. Swing, you're dead. What? It's piercing. Oh yeah, okay. Well, that's Purgatrio.
That's rough, man.
This is Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, but more based.
Oh my god, please. I want to make a YuBell in defense mode and have a Chaos Max attack
it. Just fucking disappears into the void.
The equivalent of dudes with a nut allergy when I hit them with the force of a collapsing star.
Don't attack me like that.
Where's your EpiPen now, idiot?
You're like the reverse charcuterie board, because you are cheese, but you don't like nuts.
Fair enough.
He is correct. He
That's
is correct.
fucked up, man. Can't believe you would attack someone like that.
I'm
Anyway,
a man with
fuck
very.
you.
I'm a
I
man,
deserved it.
I'm a man with very specific insults.
He spreads falsehoods. All right. Did you have any more local stuff to recap?
No, that was it. It was a I'm very proud of my performance. I've learned this deck quite quickly.
Yeah, nice.
Can't wait to ruin the rest of your match reports in the coming weeks.
Wow. Do
So
you play...
my opponent attacked me 6 times. I won locals. They gave me OTS.
Smile. Do you play any other decks besides Tenpai Cheeseman?
For the longest time, I was on Adventure Synchron, and then I hardcore cooked Horus Adventure Synchron, because when people, me being the synchro player that I am, would go, D-Barrier, call Synchron, I go, anyway, Mseti, Pitch and Water Enchantress, and they go, oh no.
That's what I love about D-Barrier, or at least the conversation around D-Barrier, is that this is one of the few times in which not only do I think D-Barrier should be banned, but I am glad that people are playing around it. I still don't think it's a healthy card, but the fact that like D-Barrier is now not an auto-include, like even for decks that have 15 fusion monsters usually, like branded, it's just like, okay, I'm going to wait. We're at a level of YuGiOh where the top 5 to 10 decks can play on our opponent's turn, so it really is just a matter of, it's like fucking, it's just such a different game from Edison or even 2017 in-off format. It might even be, I think it's different enough from the COVID formats just because that entire set was dominated by wombo combo strategies. But if you took like Adamantipated and put it up against Branded, the difference is that Brandon can make use of both turns. And the fact that it can means that it can nudge its way into a victory even if you've decided to wombo combo the entire way with Adamantipator. You can make 3.5 synchro monsters and get a draw. It doesn't matter because after that you're going to run out of big synchros because you only have so much in the extra deck. And half that stuff is extenders to get to those synchros. Whereas Branded has a bunch of main deck monsters that get into the extra deck monsters with your cards. I mean, that's always going to win the card advantage.
There's probably a good conversation to be had about like the form that power creep has taken. It's not just that cards do more, it's that cards are more flexible to do more things at more times as well.
Yeah.
I fully believe that. I remember playing out Emancipator. Again, I've never played it with Block Dragon specifically, but I played it very early doors in locals, and like the entirety of what I had during opponent's turn was exactly Masquerena, and playing into Dark Lord feels terrible.
Yeah.
Going back in time just slightly, because I love this conversation. We were discussing your decks in the past, Mr. Cheeseman.
When did you start?
Like my first, would you say, competitive relevant deck? Or?
Yeah, well, because you begin from childhood, like me and Burnsy did, where we had memories and then we kind of got back into it as from playing from like the
very
school
much
playground.
so. So when I was younger, I'd always obviously liked the anime.
Wow, what's up with the air quotes, man?
The 20-minute commercial.
Pretty much.
The 20-minute commercial starring Dan Green and his obnoxious vocals.
Yeah, and I remember I watched 5Ds and I was like, yo, those are cool dragons.
Downloading personality.
So
I like those
I
dragons.
channeled Yusei on a daily basis.
Brother, we were dueling and your back started glowing.
Damn, I thought I hit it well. But
Damn.
yeah, got into it, and then I decided to buy the first like synchro structure deck that came out with like Road Warrior.
Hell yeah.
Then, because I grew up in a small town, met some guys that played Yu-Gi-Oh! They helped me build my first relevant deck, which was Quick Draw Quasar, and going double Quasar with a Blazer on their turn, going summon anything. I dare you. I have a judgment on legs.
I have 2 huge fuck-off dragons with Omni Negates on both of them.
Yes.
It's fucked. That's insane.
And then obviously Master Rule 4? Master Rule 4 happened, destroyed the deck, and I was like, you know what? Let's play Floodgate True Draco and just Monarchs Erupt everyone. It was,
Fuck it. One bad day.
Yeah, literally, it was like, you ban my deck, no one gets to play now.
You know what? Fuck it.
This is how you
Macro
radicalize
Cosmos.
youth in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Genuinely.
But in all fairness, at that point in time, like, Masterpiece really goes sicko mode. Like,
Yeah.
I'm unaffected by spells. At this point, evenly matched was not a thing.
That's insane.
Out my monster, coward.
Dark Ruler was not a thing. It could not be super polyed.
Super Poly was banned.
I would like to shine a very specific spotlight on you, sir. Would you like to tell our loving audience about one of the first times we did play on your Synchro Hand Loop deck? What you did to me that I still have not forgotten.
So I'm sitting there cooking, and Burns is like, okay, make this Sparta, and he's like,
Playing my branded deck with no hand traps.
yeah, and he's like, this is really interesting, and I'm like, yeah. Anyway, make Omega. Okay, yeah, that's really interesting. Omega handwrit one, and he's like, yeah, no, that's fair. I handwrit exactly droplets, and then he's like, it's pretty good handwrit. Disparter effect, bringing back Omega. Oh wait, oh no, this is soft once per turn. I hand-ripped him again and took his evenly matched. Out my board now, coward.
I need you to know it's taken a lot of like personal growth to consider you a friend, because that was it where we started.
To be fair, I did the same to Kieran once, but I was doing the triple hand-rip playing Trish, and he was on Sword Soul, so I hand-ripped Talent's Droplet, and then I stole his Moyi, and he's like, I hate this game. And he's like, that is dumb. And he's like, you have 2 monster negates and an omni negate, we will just go next.
I forgot what I forgot what game it was, but there was this. You remember the YuGiOh Switch game is a Duelist Evolution?
Yeah.
So the original version of that was in Master Rule 4 before like the good Salamain grade, before Echo and Ignis was released. So I mean, Duelist Evolution is notorious for being such a shit boring game, but even the original was pretty bad. But I remember there being an achievement for summoning Cosmic Blazer Dragon and shooting the 2 level 12 Stardust Dragons, the one that like turns to the right and the one that kind of bends to the left. That like one's like an Omni Negate and the other one's like a Super Monster Bash Negate.
There's technically 3 though, because you have Blazer.
There's one of them was Cosmic
You've
Blazer.
got Cypher Divine Stardust Dragon, I believe
It wasn't. I know it wasn't that one. It was.
And then you obviously have Shooting Quasar.
It's Shooting Quasar. So
yeah.
You got an achievement for summoning Shooting Quasar and Cosmic Blazer, and I remember doing that and being like, "Been a rough day at the office. I'm gonna go eat some apple juice." I remember. I also, not to fucking keep talking. I forgot what the deck was. But I remember going into a locals in Toowoomba just to visit a friend, and it was a OTS, and I was like, I don't know what to play, let me ask around, let me just see if I can play something funny. So I play, I want to say like Sky Striker shenanigans with spell cards. So I go, alright, Ray. Ray effect, and he goes, oh no, he goes Ray, and he goes effect failure, chain Ray, and he goes, oh okay, cool. I'm going to TTT out the card. He does another monster effect. I gamma him, make Omega. I rip another card out. Play, I want to say like Primal Seed or something, or like kind of equivalentness. Put Omega back, make it again with I want to say Parallel Exceed and a level Fortuna. Omega him, rip out another card, and then like Ancient Telescope to get a 3rd Spelling Graveyard. See his hand and go, cool, engage, and he just picks up his cards and goes, okay, I'm leaving.
Change my mind. Omega can come back to 3.
Fuck off.
Let me hand rip people for 5.
I thought so, and then he pointed out that was a soft once per turn, and I shut up real quickly like I was supposed
Omega
to.
can come back to 3, but you were placed on the banned players list.
that is very
I'm looking at the banned plays list, and there's a PNG of a roll of cheese here. Weird.
Why is he surrounded by Omegas?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Roll of cheese on a white couch, 5 Omegas. Alright, do you want to get into the Reddit story?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like you've got to answer first though, Mr. Cheeseman.
Oh god.
Yeah,
your
Cheeseman,
judgment will be very heavily judged.
If you don't align with this Reddit story, we're gonna tar and torch you.
We're gonna put you between two pieces of bread and put you in the toasty machine.
I am grilled cheese now.
I've been grilled.
Ah.
Oh, that's a weird waveform. I am a 28 male. My girlfriend, 26 female.
Hold on. Is he white?
Yes.
I hate him already.
That counts as your take. That's fine.
No, he's right. My 26 female girlfriend broke my PS4 and doesn't understand why I'm so upset. I don't really know where to go from here. So some background. During quarantine, I've been playing my PS4 games a lot more. I was able to finish up some stories and complete some big games in my free time the last few months. It was a great escape for me. My girlfriend never got it fully but understood I liked playing it and it made me happy. I told her that I was really looking forward to the PS5 and was hoping to get one soon. I missed out on the pre-order and initial shipping wave, so I got a bit sad for a while, but knew I would eventually get one when the craze settled down. Whether it was next year or the year after, it didn't matter to me. Her friend also knew of this because her boyfriend was really looking for the new Xbox. So this is what happened today. I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, finishing up some achievements, when my girlfriend came into the room with her friend. I said, "Hey babe, how's your day?" And without warning, she pulled the PS4 out of the wall and smashed it onto the ground. She took a hammer and smashed it into pieces. This happened within 20 to 30 seconds. I just looked at her, shocked. I asked, "What happened? Why did you do that? Did I do something to make you mad?" This is when I noticed that her friend was recording everything with her phone. My girlfriend walks away and comes back and shows me a PS5 box. I don't react, and she says Merry Early Christmas. I just walk out of the room and go to the bedroom and lock the door. My girlfriend comes knocking an hour later and goes, "What's wrong? I thought you wanted the PS5. I told her I couldn't even think about that because she literally just destroyed a part of my life that I've created over the last 5 years. I tried to explain to her that she just ruined hundreds of hours of gameplay and saves, but she just said, "Can't you just do it again?" I then walked out and left the apartment. So, what are you going? So you got a brand new PS5. I don't know what he's complaining about.
I would eviscerate her family. Speaking as a person who, growing up with older siblings, used to really shit on me about playing video games. And play outdoors. And growing up, I was very much an outdoors kid. If someone just console, smash, I would be very, very enraged.
Hell have no fury, like a cheese squad.
I would be stinking up the joint like blue vein cheese.
Have any of you guys had a console of yours destroyed?
Ooh, I had a DVD player destroyed, but
yeah,
it
that's
only.
The same thing.
But it only. Shut up.
They both take discs.
Yeah. So they're kind of the same thing, all right? Well, no, this was different because you could put in those little mini CDs that only have 2 episodes on them instead of the full CDs where they had 4 episodes on them.
Fire.
And also you could flip the screen for whatever reason. Why that was an option, I don't know, but I hung off my bed like a bat because I was like, this is funny.
Dad, I'm dizzy, help.
Now I can watch only the one YuGiOh episode of Weevil in it, for only reason that came as a tiny little CD, and that was the only episode on it.
No, I had one of those for the Arcana doll from Battle City.
Why they were there, I don't know.
I think for a while Hungry Jack's had a promo.
It must have been for Hungry Jack's, now that I think about it. Why they thought of a mini CD is beyond my recognition. But I was hanging on the bed with my brother, and he fell and destroyed it, and I was like, that's okay, I'll just ask my parents for a new one. He got the new one. I didn't get anything. And I was like,
justice is not real.
I can't watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles anymore. My life is ruined.
And thus your villain arc began.
Yes, I'm so sorry to Uganda. For what he did in 2009.
You're going to say Nanking.
Well, I mean, don't fuck with me next time.
Understood, honestly.
Don't hand rip me for 2. That's all I'm saying, Cheeseman. Watch your fucking back.
That's an awful situation that was described in the Reddit story there. Oh, that's yeah.
But in serious note, I understand him getting angry over the console getting destroyed, but brother, I guarantee you play online. All your saves get uploaded to the cloud.
I reckon he wouldn't, because if he's like me, he wouldn't know how to do it.
It does it automatically.
Not if you've never set it up to the internet. I have my PS4 hooked up and I've never used the internet on it. So if it got destroyed, there goes my save data.
You're very much the outlier in this situation, though.
How many people have really hooked? Because like
I think you're the only one who's never done it, and I know people who live in Africa.
Yeah. Like,
you don't know people.
As I said, I'm an avid gamer, but like, you know, I play PS5, and a lot of the games that I play now, it's the whole backwards compatibility of PS5 update to the game. Like, I'm just literally taking my PS4 saves and just going, yeah, I want to keep playing this game, and just move the saves forward.
I mean, maybe it is just me. How many times have you like been like, oh, I just don't know how to solve this problem, and then after a while, and you come back to you go, oh, I probably should have just like Googled it, and then you Google and go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like that's pretty much what I deal with at my job, and I can totally understand that mode of thinking now. It's just like,
it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, I probably should have just like taken and like redone my brain, like, oh yeah, I forgot what it was, but it's like, oh. But when I was 6, it's like, I can't play cool math games. Why can't I play cool math games? Why can't I get to the 8th Pokemon Gym Leader? And I come back like 10 years later and go, I had Google at my disposal. I don't know why I just didn't Google it.
I distinctly remember getting stuck in Pokemon Leaf Green, like at Victory Road.
Really?
Because I couldn't figure out how to get through.
I was in the same boat, brother. I was like, I've got my Pokemon, let me kill.
I got stuck at Pokemon Diamond. I couldn't find a way to traverse the snow to get to the 8th thing.
That's fair though.
Yeah, I don't know.
My character actually died of hypothermia.
I'm pretty sure my Infernape hit level 100 before I got to the 8th gym leader.
Okay. This is such a tangent as well, but like, have any of you gentlemen, like again, Pokemon Leaf Green, that game is so broken with experience.
Yeah.
If you just take your starter and don't have anyone else in your team, by the 3rd gym, you're at level 46.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
But the real question is, what starter did you choose?
In that scenario, I was on Blastoise. I was a Squirtle boy.
I think until Gen 5, you could pick whatever option you wanted, and it would be like, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Just because Snivy was bipedal, if you chose Snivy and you realize what Superior looked like, you're like, really?
It's true, and if you pick Snivy, that means you did not pick conclusively the best starter Pokemon in the game.
Yeah, Oink Boy. Super Oink Man.
I'm an Oshawott man.
Oshawot's fine.
Oshawot's my boy.
As long as you don't let him evolve.
Yeah, no, fuck letting him evolve. Are you kidding? No, Oshawot's my boy.
I'm so glad they made Swampert slightly skinnier in the remakes.
Like, with respect to every other starter Pokemon, if any of you have seen the clip of Oshawott from the anime walking down the hallway singing, just singing Oshawott.
Listen, Burnsy.
It's good.
You wouldn't get it. Me and Cheeseman, we are alpha males. We don't spend time watching cartoons for kids,
So
alright?
who's your starter?
We do fentanyl. Chimchar. We do fentanyl. Chimchar.
I was actually about to say, like, one of the first Pokemon games that I played was Platinum, and I was like, who needs to raise multiple Pokemon? This Pokemon is fire and fighting. I will erase everyone.
Let's go.
Chimchar is the best. Yeah.
I can get my dad in here and he will attest to this. Diamond was my first ever game. I load in, I make my character, I go, I'm stuck in this room, and my dad goes, what do you mean? I'm like, I can't leave my room. Where's the rest of the game? And he goes, what are those? And I go, that's a bookshelf. And he goes, I think those look like stairs. And I go, oh yeah.
Oh my god.
So until I did the entire, I got to the 7th gym leader, I never knew how to switch my Pokemon before battles, so I always led with my starter, and I could never access the box. So by the time I got to the 7th gym leader, gave up when I was 8, went back when I was like 14, I looked at my box and was like, oh, that's where all my Pokemon are. And Infernape's level 100. And the next highest Pokemon is Staraptor at like 40.
That's insane.
Infernape's just, I've seen things, brother. He always leads with me. Give me a break.
Blood full of blood god.
He has ascended to a new plane of existence. I like that this started as the Reddit story, and we are just gone.
Because we know what the answer is. That's destruction of property. You're an arsehole. It goes on to say, like, do you remember? I don't know if you remember this. It was the TikTok challenge to like destroy something. Be like, I got you the newer version.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it was.
Yeah, and then he had to explain to his girlfriend, like, no, that's destruction of property, and you're stupid. And then she didn't get it or whatever, and he just left. Which is what I would.
Yeah, look, the thing is, she was trying to do something nice. She just went about it in a really shitty internet poisoned way.
I know listen, everyone loves me. That much is true. But I guess I have to play devil's advocate here. I think this teaches us a very valuable lesson. And I know, you and Cheeseman, you have wives or whatever, but, for someone
Who told you that? That is objectively incorrect.
For someone like me who's an alpha male and does fentanyl, when you're dating someone, you gotta realize that you just can't date stupid people.
I was gonna say, you talking about alphas, it's a Friday night, the three of us are in here.
What do you mean? What's wrong with this very echoey chamber in the middle of buttfuck nowhere,
There's
Australia?
a pocket dimension at the bottom of the ocean.
I'm sorry. This feels like I want to. Obviously, we know what the answer is, but I feel like as you're getting into a relationship, maybe it is just me, but I can tell when someone has the mental capacity to think about something.
It's a symptom that shows that they're not on the same page at all.
Yeah.
But in a level of seriousness though, if I had a partner who came in and destroyed, let's say my PS4, as a person who played Final Fantasy 15, and if you've ever done the hidden dungeon where you don't fight anyone, it's just jumping. But right at the end, you are jumping above the beginning, and I'm like, oh, I gotta jump across 5 posts, and I get this thing that grants me immunity to statuses, and I'm like, jump, 4 landed at the start, that's the checkpoint. The hidden dungeon is 6 hours. I was like, I don't want this game anymore.
I think the real asshole is the guy because he let her get more than one hammer swing.
Yeah.
How do you not go ultra instinct in that moment?
I think it's, some people, if my girlfriend smashed it, I would just sit there. It's like, and this might be rude to PS4 owners because I can't think of a more serious metaphor, but imagine your baby's eyes getting exploded like Oberon from Game of Thrones.
I don't want to. That's a horrible image. That's terrible.
What are you gonna do? You just kind of stand there. You're like,
no, you're right, but that's weak aura.
weak aura. Yeah, I mean, like, if anything, I think the judge is the asshole for not letting him get away with murder. So, what are you gonna do? Some PS4 bullshit.
Something Bloodborne gamers.
Oh! It was actually Bloodborne.
It was actually Bloodborne.
I was gonna say.
See, you and I are more on the same page than this couple is.
That's bad. That's real bad for anyone.
I was going, hey, can you peel this orange for me?
So what I was gonna say was, could you imagine he gets through the entire Chalice dungeons?
Nah. I don't need you to not finish this.
Dude, that's the hardest part of any Dark Souls games. He does it completely. He finds the one Easter egg that no one could find it before he posts it to Reddit.
Bro found the level 3 guidance rune.
Yeah. Could you just imagine? He found what are they called? The old ones? The great.
Yeah.
He finds the hidden third one, gets the 4th umbilical cord, goes to get the SD card from his PS4.
Little Lawrence bursts the door open, just screeches, smashes it into the ground. Yeah.
Well, in all seriousness, did you guys play Final Fantasy 15?
No,
genuinely no, but I'm very familiar.
There's another dungeon. Ignore the hidden dungeon. That thing can burn. But there's another dungeon, and it's like once you finish the game, you do these specialized dungeons that are in dungeons. You finish all of them, and then you go to this old granny, and she's like, "Oh, here's this special key that unlocks a special dungeon." You're like, "Oh, sure, let's go do it." You enter the dungeon. It's like, as you enter, it's like, "Warning. The weapons you have equipped are permanently equipped. You cannot use any items whatsoever." The dungeon is 100 floors with no checkpoints. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm 80 floors in. I'm like, we've got this. We're chilling. Blackout. I hated my life.
Oh.
I was like, this was 4 hours of me struggling to kill things.
You know what that is? You just got trapped into Sword Art Online, and your parents just decided to pull the plug. They were just like, nah, he's probably gonna die anyway.
But little did they know, I was the main character.
I was the main character.
No, you weren't. You're now brain dead.
That's why I keep 94 generators constantly hooked up to every appliance I have in my house, including my electrical butt plug. Because just in case that
Is
happens.
that 94 generators to each item?
Yes.
That is not sustainable.
I
Dom.
have destroyed the ozone layer.
I am fairly sure you just described the origin story of Jinzo.
Fuck this shit. Nothing else is working.
My butt plug is at 200% capacity.
It's just Jinzo vibrating at you.
Just floating in like Psycho Mantis. Just...
Oh god.
I see you play Final Fantasy and Bloodborne. Get a fucking life.
Would be a shame if I deleted the save.
I'm bald. You can donate to my cancer relief fund, Dad.
Genuinely imagine though, it's like Psycho Mantis like, oh, you played this, I'm gonna delete the save. You're like, no, turn off the console and just turn it back on. It's like, no.
Don't fucking do that, asshole. You're ruining the bit.
Just reaches in and just strokes your face and like,
I get paid 5 cents to do this every copy of this game.
My consciousness is real and split between every copy of this game that's been sold.
Save me. Save me. Save me.
Kojima is relentless, please.
Kojima keeps me trapped in a jar and is filling it with this mysterious liquid.
God.
Help me.